India, officially the Republic of India, is a country that occupies the greater in South Asia. It is the seventh largest country by area, the second most populous country with over 1.2 billion after China. It is also the most populous democracy in the world. It is bounded by Indian Ocean on the south, the Arabian Sea of the southwest, and the Bay of Bengal on the southeast. It shares land borders with Pakistan to the west, China, Nepal and Bhutan to the northeast, and Myanmar, Burma and Bangladesh to the east. In the Indian Ocean, India is in the vicinity of Sri Lanka and Maldives. It is a constitutional republic consisting of 29 states each with a substantial degree of control over its own affairs, 6 less fully empowered union territories, and the Delhi National Capital Territory, which includes New Delhi, India's capital.
Economy. In 2015, the Indian economy was the world's 7th largest by nominal GDP and 3rd largest by purchasing power parity, following market-based economic reforms in 1991. India became one of the fastest growing major economies and is considered a newly industrialized country. However, it continues to face the challenges of poverty, corruption, malnutrition, and inadequate public health care. India is the federal republic governed under a parliamentary system and consists of 29 states and 7 union territories. It is a pluralistic, multilingual, and multi-ethnic society. It is also home to a diversity of wildlife in a variety of protection habitats.
India's agriculture is composed of many crops, with the foremost food staples being rice and wheat. India farmers also grow pulses, potatoes, sugarcane, oilseeds, and such non-food items as cotton, tea, coffee, rubber, and jute. India is a fisheries giant as well. A total catch of about 3 million metric tons annually ranks India among the world's top 10 fishing nations. Despite the overwhelming size of the agricultural sector, however, yields per hectare of crops in India are generally low compared to international standards. Improper water management is another problem affecting India's agriculture. At a time of increasing water shortages and environmental crisis, for example, the rice crop in India is allocated disproportionately high amounts of water. Agriculture in India has a significant history. Today, India ranks second worldwide in farm output. India's economy is mainly based on agriculture. The most important parameter for the agriculture is timely and sufficient supply of water. Most of the farmers are dependent on electric pumps for irrigation, in which demand electricity. The frequent, intermittent, low-voltage supply of power to the agriculture sector has caused problems to the farmers who are spending their time monitoring the supply of power, without which their work cannot start. Indian agriculture scenario. Let's look at its SWOT analysis. Strengths: rich biodiversity, arable land, climate, strong and well-dispersed research and extension system. Weaknesses: fragmentation of land, low technology inputs, unsustainable water management, poor infrastructure, and low value addition. Opportunities: bridgeable yield crops, exports, agro-based industry, and horticulture. Threats: unsustainable resource use, unsustainable regional development, and imports. World Trade Organization in Indian agriculture. Implications for policy and research and development. Two major developments impacting Indian agriculture during 19th have been the Agreement on Agriculture implemented from January 1st, 1995 under WTO. Second, emergence of highly volatile price regime thereafter. What is WTO? WTO is the only international organization dealing with global rules of trade between nations. Its main function is to ensure the trade flows as smoothly, predictably, and freely as possible. WTO's benefits are: the system helps promote peace, disputes are handled constructively, rules make life easier for all, Fair trade cuts the cost of living. It provides more choice of products and qualities. Trade raises incomes. Trade stimulates economic growth. The basic principles make life more efficient. Governments are shielded from lobbying. The system encourages good government.
All the members countries of WTO are committed to follow set rules embodied in WTO Agreement on Agriculture which cover market access, the tarification of non-tarification measures, binding and reduction commitments on tariff and tariff quotas commitments, export subsidies, domestic support. There are three categories of domestic support. Greenbacks, they tend to programs that are not targeted particular product and include direct income support for farmers that are not related to current production level prices. Contains fully authorized aid. Intake subsidies do not distort trade or only minimally. They have to be government founded and must not involve price support. Blue box, it includes subsidies that are linked to one product but do not increase according to production level. At present, there are no limits in spending on blue box subsidies. In the current negotiation, some countries want to keep blue box because they see as a crucial means of moving away from distortion amber box subsidies without causing too much hardship. Aggregate measurement of support is an indicator on which the domestic support discipline for the year-round agreement on agriculture is based.
Agricultural policy in India is mostly designed by the government for raising agricultural production and productivity and also raising the level of income and standard of living of farmers within a definite time frame. This policy is formulated for all-round and comprehensive development of the agricultural sector. Agricultural policy main objectives are raising the productivity of inputs, raising value added per hectare, protecting the interests of poor farmers, modernizing agricultural sector, checking environmental degradation, agricultural research and training, and removing bureaucratic obstacles.
How to modernize the agriculture. For modernization at agriculture, scientific methods should be applied. Qualitative seeds, chemical fertilizer, and pesticide should be made available to the Indian farmers. Central and state government has given to dominance agriculture. Multi-purpose projects are being built in all states of India. Macro-management scheme will aim at all-round development in agriculture through work plans prepared by states. These include number 1, reflection at local needs, crops, region, specific priorities. Number 2, providing flexibility in autonomous states. Number 3, optimum utilization of spare financial resources. Number 4, maximization of returns. Number 5, removal of regional imbalances. Macro management in agricultural planning are production of food grains, macro management in agricultural planning, and on-farm water management in Western India. Physical factors affecting agriculture are climate, soil. Climate requires sufficient heat and moisture for their growth. Normally, regions having maximum temperature of less than 10% are not suitable for plant growth. Soils generally and soils which are found at the place of their origin, known as residual soils, are proper than those which have been transported from the place of their origin.
Economic factors. Market distance from the market determines the cost of transportation. Transport facilities. The development of efficient means of transportation widen the market for agricultural products.
Post-WTO trade regime. Lessons for India. Wide-ranging economic reforms introduced in India during 1991 boosted the agricultural trade, export as well as imports. And the net trade surplus in agriculture increased from $2 billion during 1992 to 1993 to $4.33 billion during 1995 to 1996. India is facing challenges in traditional export items. The challenge is not from the developing countries but from the developed countries. Major of vegetable oils are from the developing countries, Malaysia and Indonesia. And India has done well in export of high-value products to the developed countries. India has to learn lessons from these trends and other experiences. The Agreement on Agriculture created an environment of trade reforms and initiated the trade liberation in agriculture. Other lessons include WTO seeks to remove the barriers of our own market and their own market. India needs not to be extremely defensive and inward-looking, as our agriculture has to demonstrate strength which need to be appropriately used to compete in the global market. Otherwise, it will become a case of missed opportunity. As a net exporting country, India stands to gain from increase in international prices, which is possible only if we relentlessly fight for reductions of domestic subsidies and support export subsidies in the developed countries. Once this is done, the possibility of import trade for our key export products like dairy, wheat, cotton, sugar will disappear. Import trade can be surmounted by general provision of rising tariff to bound level and of asking for special treatment, packages like S&D treatment, sensitive products.
Enabling policy and institutional mechanism to safeguard agriculture under WTO regime. Intellectual property rights issues. The scope of IPR covers seeds, agrochemicals, tools, input delivery, controlled systems, post-harvest agriculture, food products, non-food products. Now, prior approval of National Biodiversity Authority has been made mandatory for seeking IPR on innovations using national bioresources and associated traditional knowledge. Technical barriers to trade and sanitary and phytosanitary issues in food sector. The main objective is to protect risks to human beings, animals, and plant life. The guiding principle should be transparency and avoidance of arbitrary SPS standards. State-level WTO issues. The states are important stakeholders in trade and therefore should be regularly consulted in trade policy matters. Response and reorientation of the R&D system. For the reorientation of R&D systems, following features of our R&D system should be kept in view. Number 1. Size and spread of national agriculture research system. Inability to fully and effectively mainstream the demonstrated benefits through externally aided projects like National Agricultural Research Project, National Agricultural Technology Project, Agricultural Human Resource Development Project. Recommendations. The deliberation of the workshop suggested the following policy initiatives and action points. India needs to devise appropriate domestic policies, extensive domestic market reforms, heavy investment in building and maintaining infrastructure to improve efficiency and competitiveness of domestic produce.